Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Call Me Other podcast. Today I have a very special guest for the top of 2020. We have Yoel Aynalem. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm super stoked to be here. I'm blessed.
Yes, I'm happy that you were here to join me. Now, actually, I did Yoel's podcast a few weeks ago when I was transitioning through life. So I wanted to make sure I did this one proper. So actually, I did a lot of research, like I said, Yoel, and I learned that you are a clothing brand owner. I can't believe I didn't know that at first. So all the different things, you're into the arts, which is incredible. So that's what I wanted to talk about, life in the arts.
Oh man. Okay, so we can say that loosely. I'm in the clothing industry. It just kind of really started. I've been busy doing other things.
Yeah.
But I designed a sweatshirt that I'm really super happy about and sold them out. But I won't be reintroducing. I'm an artist, and I'm a very stereotypical artist in the sense of like, I hate the fucking. Can I cuss? Are you gonna bleep it out?
Of course.
Okay, just making sure. I don't know. You talking about you did your research. I'm like, damn, how official is this? No, so yeah, so I really don't like the logistics and like the trying to figure out how to like the I like the manufacturing process, the materials, the design, obviously, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the actual like I make enough money to where like I don't really want the extra couple grand that I'll have to deal with the headache of like packaging it, shipping it out, doing all the other things that it's just like a pain in the ass to me. Yeah. Like, so that's why things have been kind of slow because mainly I've been designing, and then what I'll do is I'll buy different things, different jewelry that I like. Yeah. And then if I like it, I'll put it out. But if I don't, I just hold on to it. But then now I have a mask that I'm really happy about that I will release, that I've done like photo shoots for, done kind of like all of the things around it. But that's been like, I mean, the last thing I put out was like maybe April. So, I have a lot of people that still wear it, that, always bring it up to me. When are you bringing out another one? When are you restock? All this stuff. But I'm going to bring out the mask. And then this is what I do. I start kind of slower and then slowly build up. But I don't force anything when it comes to the clothing line. I go at my speed, make sure I like the product, make sure it's quality. The masks I design, they're super good quality. They're really nice, really funny, kind of like good message on it. Yeah. I have it here, but
I saw you did like a Voyage interview, and I saw like for part of your like sweatshirts or shirts, you gave like 50% to social injustice. So I thought that was really awesome. Yeah. Like it's something to do with the brand. Yeah,
so how that actually happened, it's funny when because I'd been sitting on them, which in retrospect is kind of ridiculous, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. I've been sitting on the sweatshirts for like a couple of years. I had built the website probably like 3 years ago.
You really are.
Think about how long it had been until I put them out. So like 3 years ago, that design was like not as common. I would say, just how it's designed on the sleeve, with the logo, I just sat on it. Didn't really want to release it. It was that's back when I was younger. When you're younger and like you don't really understand business, understand sales that much, you feel a little bit of that apprehension to sell to friends. You kind of, for some reason, were told like, oh, your friends don't buy things and they don't enjoy things and they don't like art and they don't want to buy from their friends and all of these like myths that have been indoctrinated into us. But as I got older, I became, and it was a personal design. It was something that was very personal to me. It had my family, my culture involved into it. Yeah. But I just sat on it. I didn't really feel like putting it out. And then stuff was going on with, social justice, the Black Lives Matter movement. And I just, there's a lot of bad stuff that was happening, around like March, April of last year. Yeah. And I was just like, man, I got to do my part. I felt like, I was quarantined. I was just sitting there. I didn't really know like what to do. So I was like, these have been sitting out. Why don't I donate, half the profits? I would donate all of it, but it's like I'm not ready I need money to like reinvest in the business, clothing, and get more, so on and so forth. So yeah, that was just something that was sparked from me having it, just not knowing the right time. So I needed to, kind of do my part, and then one thing led to another, and it just made sense.
And that's so awesome, because like when I was reading of it, I was like, oh, that's really cool, a way to kind of like deal with the branding and kind of do, like you said, do your part. Because so many brands talk about what they're going to do, but you did it kind of instantly, like right at the beginning, versus
Had to.
Yes, definitely. So it is 2021. What is your New Year's resolution? I have to ask.
So, man, I'm not fun with this. So I don't really do a ton of New Year's resolutions. I try to, adapt every day, try to adapt every week, reflect every, the end of every month, look back, be like, what could I have done better? How can I always improve? But I guess I would say, just reflecting on this last year, I'm always reflecting on my past, but I would say, taking a little more time to kind of enjoy Los Angeles. This quarantine happened. It was definitely a time of reflection more than anything. And, leading into the year, things, with the vaccine, things sounding like they're going to open up here pretty soon. So, I'm thinking about how this new life is going to be for me and what I'm going to do different, and how, like essentially house arrest was, and how crappy it was, how shitty it was. Yeah. And for me, it's enjoying and appreciating what I had before it was gone. I live in LA, and obviously I came here to pursue arts. And have a career, and I've been blessed to be doing that at this point. It was rough at first, you're new place, didn't really know what I was doing, but now that I am getting my feet under me, just take more time to enjoy it. Go out, go to bars, meet people, go to the beach, do these things, all these things that I went to the beach maybe twice in a year, and I live 20 minutes from the beach.
Oh, you better go.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the New Year's resolution. Enjoy, give myself, some time to give myself permission to relax.
I think that's important too. Just like in terms of bringing a new year, there is so much, I feel like, that we all went through last year. So that's why, like you said, I do think that last year we're having so much time to reflect, so much time in the house. I think going forward, it does allow you to appreciate little things more. Like you said, just the ability to be able to go out, period. Like, that's things we take for granted. We usually are like, I don't want to go, but now we'll understand, like, oh, it's kind of important to socialize. It's okay to meet new people.
100%. And well, you couldn't for a while, so you took it for granted, right? Like everyone, I'm a social guy. I like people. I like laughing. I love having fun and meeting new people, new experiences. And that was removed. Not even, we were able for a little bit to sit outside of restaurants, outdoor seating, but now it's like nothing. So it's like, man, like, I like new restaurants. I like experiencing new environments. I like interior design and the sense of how people set up their stores and how it makes you feel, and the subconscious and impact that it has on the service they provide, the food that they have, the clothing that they have, and once that was removed, it really, it sucked. Like, I don't want to purchase off of my phone all the time. I want to do that if I have to, if I'm busy. But if I want an experience, that's why people go to the mall. That's why people have been going to the mall. People can always buy stuff, but it's, going in the stores, saying, as a kid, walking by Victoria's Secret and be like, oh, those are boobies, and like laughing and like, joking around, and like, it's those little things, and going in the lids, things. Trying on the hats, going into, all these places. Yeah.
I'm a people watcher, so I just like, what y'all doing? Yeah. I'm big into people watching.
It's interesting.
Yes. Even like in my neighborhood, like I know where everybody lives or something. Well, I'm new here, but because I'm always looking like, out the window.
You're just nosy.
I am. That's why.
It's all good.
That's why I'm in this career.
Yeah, you trying to figure out your environment. Yes. So am I.
Yes.
I think it's rooted in anxiety. We both have anxiety. We're trying to figure stuff out. We're like, what's gonna kill me?
Okay. You know what? That's so sad but true. So sad but true. Now I have to ask, did you watch the inauguration?
I didn't watch it. I saw like bits and pieces. You know how social media is.
Yeah. Did you see the Bernie meme?
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was so funny. And what's funny is like, yeah, he was catching a vibe, but like he wasn't doing anything weird.
No.
I think that actually no, that's probably why it was so viral, because he was just literally not trying.
Yeah.
And he was just at the midst, like catching a vibe. At first, so when I saw the first photo, I was like, why? Like who wears mitts anymore?
I know.
That was my first thought, right? And then I started to see all the memes. It's like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like that is fucking funny that he's wearing mitts, like oven mitts. Those are big. It was super funny.
The fact that people are going out there to make bobbleheads of it now. The poor teacher, he apparently got them from some type of teacher. I looked on the backstory of it, and the teacher is just like, I'm not selling them anymore, so don't ask me.
Oh, a teacher sold it to him?
Yes, I guess.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna buy some mitts and wear them just out of like, it's just a vibe.
Yes. Aside from that, did you find anything else fascinating? Because it was so much happening with that whole 24-hour news circle.
Yeah, there was just a lot going on. I think a lot of the this is so silly, but me and like my friends, we started an Instagram account. It's called Stimmy Boys and EDD Boys, and it's just a bunch of memes. It's just a bunch of memes of like different like stimulus package and like those boys that got like in trouble. It might have been in Texas, maybe not. I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe Florida. No, one
Texas
of those.
or Florida.
It's always what it is too. But yeah, like where they defrauded the government of unemployment checks, and we just thought it was so funny. And I'm kind of forgetting why I'm bringing it up, but it's still funny to me.
We're talking about the inauguration.
Oh no, I got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, so one of the memes was like, "Damn, this inauguration kind of fancy for someone who owes me $2,000."
That is, I'm telling you,
like, that's so funny.
People want that check. Like they're just like, Joe, I voted. I'm like, you know what? I think something. He has to give them something because he promised some extra. Yeah. So I don't know if he's gonna do it for unemployment people or who it's gonna go to. I have a feeling like the working class will be worked out of this. Like entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I mean, he has to, man.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting embarrassed by other countries, like that have been paying out these checks to their citizens. It's like you're telling me we're the richest country on earth, but we're making it political while people are starving or dying.
I agree.
Or losing their homes, etc. So it's something that needs to be done, but that's how America and especially the Black community, that's how we cope with pain. Yeah, it's just to laugh it off.
Yes. Are you on Black Twitter? Do you see everything that they talk about?
Of course. I'm on Black Twitter, Black Instagram.
Black Instagram.
I have to.
Not
Black Instagram, but like I follow all of the meme pages that you probably think about when they're the funniest.
What's the Justin page or whatever? All of that stuff.
Probably. I mean, all of it. I don't even pay attention anymore. I just see the meme.
Yeah, everybody retweets the same thing. It's crazy.
Yeah. I like it though. It's funny.
I know, me too. I think that Black Twitter is just gonna get too big. Like I feel like it's gonna end up becoming like it kind of is. Whatever they're talking about on Black Twitter trends, for the United States. Like some of the things, like it's like rappers' girlfriends trends and everything, and I'm just like, the average American doesn't even know them, but they're the number one trending subject.
Because I don't know why that is. I wonder why that is.
Yes.
Yeah, we just like to laugh. I mean, we like to share things and laugh and joke around, give each other shit, and but that's just how we are.
Yes.
It is what it is.
No, that's so important. Speaking of social media, how do you combine that, I guess, into like branding? Because now, before the pandemic, but even now with the pandemic, I think it's so important to have a social media presence. But it's really, really financially lucrative, if you will, for brands to incorporate that, because they don't even have to pay for advertisement if you have enough of a following.
Yeah, I think that people need to stop focusing on necessarily like how many followers they. I mean, they should always want to increase that number, but
Yeah.
people think, "Oh, I don't have any followers, then my social media doesn't matter," which
Yeah.
is definitely not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because depending on what industry you're in, having 100 people follow you, 1,000 people, 2,000, 3,
Mm-hmm.
that matters in some aspects.
Yeah.
Those are people that can be customers that you can build a community around.
Mm-hmm.
That through them, if they really like it, they can share it with their friends. So yeah, this is what I do with clients as well. Is like I
Yeah.
do their media, I do their social media as well,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell them, I'm like, hey, like, how you present yourself, it does matter to people that not only want to work for your company, that want to transact with your company. If you're sloppy on something as fundamental as an Instagram account, a Facebook account, a LinkedIn account, if you're sloppy about it, how is that a reflection of the rest of your company, the rest of your organization? If you have a good culture, highlight that. If you have a really caring process with your service or your product, highlight that.
Yeah.
These things that are essentially the only real way to communicate with your potential clients or employees, other than them walking into your store, which is not possible right now, which will continue to be an issue and continue to be a smaller and smaller portion of your business, especially if you're in a product industry. It's super, super important. And I think now we're realizing it, but I think we slowly are starting to adapt to it. But the problem is you got to get ahead of it. I remember I was working with, when I first moved to LA, I worked for an insurance company, and they've been around for 40 years, really stuck in their ways. I mean, they had been successful for 40 years at that particular branch in that office. And it's funny because when I first got there, they didn't have a social media account, nothing like that. They didn't see the value in it. They're like, we're making calls, we're doing this, we're doing that. Like, we don't need it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I talked to the head guy, new guy, 23 years old, just moved to LA, come in there with my balls on the table, and I'm like, hey, you guys need social media, this, and they're just like, what is this guy saying right now? Like, just completely, like, they did not understand what I was talking about social media. I was like, look, you need to do this, have social media, take back control of the narrative of your brand, highlight your employees so people want to, turnover is big there, acquiring new employees is really important there. So I was like, this is a no-brainer, kill two birds with one stone, really, really highlight this company. And they were just like, well, we'll try it out. And back then I was like, all right, I'll get the bag. I'll do this for you guys. But you still do not understand. So then I did it for a couple months. A couple months later, they said, they're like, we're going to put pause on things, but it's not because of your quality or anything. I was like, either way, I don't care. You guys don't get it. I'm going to keep, doing my thing as an agent. So now, fast forward, I think, it's been like 2 years later. The client that I work for now, ironically, they're a life insurance company, and all of my homies from the original one, they work at that one, and he knew that I was working on sets, did photography, did videography, because I quit that old life insurance company, and he brought me on, and he's like, hey, come meet my boss, like, I think you'd be really good for, doing our media stuff. And their whole business, how they get clients is solely through Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising and like internet ads. And how they recruit is strictly on social media. Like I would say 99%. And literally everything that I was trying to tell the old company, which they're going to die because they're not adapting. This new company is already doing. They understand what I'm doing. They see the vision. So once they brought me on, I told them what my perspective was on things. They're like, okay, let's go. And that is not only a brag on myself, which I love bragging on myself, but just a brag of like a brag about how much things are changing and how much that people. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you can find a way to make it to where you can incorporate your business with these free communication channels and stay committed to it, and don't expect results overnight, because that is not realistic. You are a business person. Be disciplined. Stay focused. Learn what you're doing. Don't just throw money at some random dude that was talking to you well. Deeply understand what you're doing. Then over time you will see results.
Yeah. No, that microwave success for people, like, I don't know what the problem is with that. I'm just like, it's okay to like work and build, and not even unfortunately, because the amount of time that you put in work for free, if you are consistent, like you said, you will always get it back times 10. But you have to build things up, especially when you're building from the bottom.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so I think that's super duper important. But as far as it goes with like social media and a lot of old companies and the way they like push things out and all of that, I am curious to see how they will survive in the next 5 years, because companies that are solely online, the e-commerce industry, all of that is just through the roof. So I'm just like,
yeah, and it's funny. I have a comment on that too. Like, things are, and people aren't like really business nerds. They won't really like things are like really commoditized at this point, which means like it's really cheap to do things, and it's really efficient to do things. Yeah. So if you have a portion of your business that is very inefficient, which labor is very inefficient, leases are very inefficient. Those two things you don't really need in an online world. The only labor you need is manufacturing and then distribution. But the retail space, that is so bulky, that is so expensive. So the people that can eliminate that, as well as incorporate really smart, wise, forward-thinking marketing, and incorporate these new social media, like those two things. If they can do those two things, there's gonna be a room for them in the new marketplace, because things are going to go deeper into that. It's not gonna be like where it's like, oh, you're gonna have both. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have both, but if you're gonna focus on one, focus on trying to get away from the retail space and go online. But branding super important nowadays, because again, things are so cheap, things are so commoditized, things are so abundant, things are so having like, oh, I can make it for this price while they make it for that, that's impossible. Everyone can reach out to any manufacturer, anyone can get stuff done for pennies on the dollar. The only thing that's going to make you different is the thing which you cannot describe, the soul, the essence, the emotion, the story.
Yeah, no, those are super important, which is why I was wondering, like, what made you, like, go into branding, like you said, a few years ago? Because it's the thing now, especially, like I said, after the pandemic, so much brick and mortar will just be no more. So what made you, like, be like, I'm going to go into the entrepreneurship space? Already being an artist, I feel like whenever you are in the art, within any capacity, just photography, videography, that's usually entrepreneurial. You just freelance it.
100%.
So what made you be like, I'm going to own a branding company also?
That's a good question. So when I was a kid, we would drive down the road, and I would always, and it's funny, I'm talking about like first, second grade, because I can date things because I've moved a decent amount, so I can visually, based off of where I'm at, I know how old I was. Yeah. And I would see signs, and I'd be like, why is their sign that color? And why is it that small? Yeah. And I was like, does everyone else see what I'm seeing? Like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever, like, not the dumbest thing, but I'm like, I was like, I would have noticed that better if it was bigger with this writing and this color. Like, I would drive by, on the weekends, you drive by and be like, why is their garage sale sign like this? Like, why is it on a piece of paper this size? Like, there's no restriction or rules on making it bigger, making it a weird color. So for me, like, just observing the world, as artists, as entrepreneurs and artists, I'll use that synonymously. We want to see the world. We see the world, and we see how we can add value to it, or how it can be changed for the better, Yeah. And, those things, observing, thinking, and then seeing, okay, well, what if we tweak this? What if I take my brush and I add this? What if I take this photo like this and then edit it and then, okay, that looks nice. Like, seeing something in your head and then wanting to apply it.
Yes.
Is something that has always been kind of a part of what made life fun. Making things, being proud. I remember in was like second grade, late second grade or third grade, third grade. Everybody we'd go to the library and pick out books, and everyone would get a normal book, like a normal kid, but of course I was like the weird one, and I would ask my teacher to always get me origami books. You know what those are?
Yes. Well, you can make like the paper.
Yes. So that's literally my reading time was the only one in the class. They would get me origami books because I just wanted to make stuff. So I think that some people just want to make stuff. Some people can read and look at theoretical stuff and get interested in that. For me, I want to look, think, make. Look, think, make. Look.
Yeah, that's a cool mantra.
At a speed. So like, and the nice thing is, sometimes timing is important, right? In a school is not a conducive environment for someone that wants that instant kind of application. Make a living off of that type of psyche is very difficult or even being successful with grades and stuff. Having that particular psyche is very difficult.
No, that's true.
So I think, my time was late. I'm 26. I'm just now I'm just now starting to not be a loser. And I'm not even saying that in like a joking way. I'm saying sometimes you have to, and I was never a loser, I was popular, but I'm saying
just so relaxed and chill, like.
No, I mean, like, I'm saying on paper and like to my parents with school and stuff, and I'm being dramatic, of course. Yeah. But I'm finally seeing where things are going. The thoughts that I've had make sense. Okay, I'm not crazy because of this. That's what I mean by that. Yeah. So, some people, as artists, we have to put ourselves in a position to succeed. I left a really great home situation, had incredible friends at home to come to Los Angeles because I knew, like, if I wanted to have a career doing what I want to do, I can't stay where I'm at. So just staying disciplined to what your temperaments are and staying disciplined to who you feel like you are, I think is super important.
No, that's so true because I feel like, especially when it comes to pursuing your dreams or whatever, a lot of people don't know how uncomfortable that is. Like you said, leaving home, I just left home again. It's just like you do all this moving around, and it's a lot of sacrifice. A lot.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're always just very uncomfortable. But I think that's so key when it comes to, like, in terms of channeling all the things when you're younger or even as you're growing up. Like, you realizing that at 26 puts you already so much ahead of people that won't realize it until they're, like, 10, 15 years into a career. So, believe me, you're way ahead of the game. But, I'm just saying, like, recognizing those little things. Because I can remember just as a kid just, like, always talking and always just wanting to be Oprah and different things. So, those little things you could think back. Because, of course you have people like Beyonce. They have proof that this was them when they were younger. But not all of us do.
No.
But
it takes a lot of, it's dark. It's a dark path. And, you have to, you're seeing something as artists, as entrepreneurs. You see something that doesn't exist. Yes. So it's like crazy. You can explain it to people logically, but if they don't get it, it's okay. It doesn't exist. Like that's part of what I started to not really get emotional about in the sense of just because someone doesn't understand what you're doing, it's okay. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. It doesn't exist. You started a business. That business does not exist yet. Like, you created this, you want a career in doing this. It's like, but you don't have that career yet. So don't try to convince people. Just work towards it. It's a goal.
No, that's super important that you said that, especially because, like I said, reading up, I saw like that you took a kind of unconventional route from what your parents wanted you to do versus like going to college, different things. So for you, just like stepping out and doing that, was that hard? Because you were able to do that kind of early and be like, I know that's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think some people are designed to not listen. I was not a good kid that listened. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I was a very defiant kid. I'm sure I had like, I'm sure it was too far sometimes in the sense of, maybe I had some demons I needed to get through. Maybe I, was hurt. You have some trauma in life and you don't know how to sort through it. But I think temperamentally, I've always had the route of like, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm not gonna fucking, have my life be dictated on, what other people think, even if it is my parents. And it wasn't like anger at my parents. Like I was like, I'm gonna do what I want, So, and it's not easy because society, the world, you're not just saying to your parents that you're not doing this path. You're also saying to the world, because when you say, when people say, what are you up to right now?
Oh my God, I hate that question.
And you're like, nothing, I'm working right now. It's like, oh, did you graduate? No.
Yeah. That is so true.
and that gut feeling of like, damn, they think I'm a loser now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's so true.
And it's funny to joke about it now because I can figure my shit out. But back then, especially when in the early parts, it sucks.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you feel good. And and especially when all your friends are going to school and doing this and like what happened? What are you doing? Oh, you're doing okay. And for me, I've always been a big proponent, and you got to be okay with the truth. I can't. I gotta have pride in who I am, what I'm actually doing. I can't be full of shit and be like, oh, I'm just taking time off. It's like, nah. I told people, like, they're like, oh no, but you got to go back, like save up. It's like, nah, I'm done. I'm not going back ever, and I just don't want to. They're like, well, why? Like, you got to go back. I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny. It's funny we're joking about it now, but back then, it's tough. But and for me, I have that temperament. But for people that don't have that temperament, that may be a little less defiant. You got to stick to your guns because that pressure is good. I think I could have finished, but I think I intentionally did not because I wanted to not only prove to myself, I wanted to prove to my parents, prove to my little cousins, prove to my everybody to be like, hey, like, if you don't want to go to school, it's okay. You will be fine. You just got to work. So put that chip on my shoulder. Yeah. What's that song by Drake? He's like, making major changes to the life I'm living. I had no choice. I had to prove I made the right decision.
Oh, I do know. That is not off Take Care. It's not off Take Care. I think it's the project after.
No, it's Underground Kings, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. So, a huge Drake fan over here, so Drake, I apologize. I think I do know.
Canceled.
I'll never get. I always looking at like all the cancel total side subject, but looking at all these celebrities and all these people get canceled and all the things that happen to them, I'm always wondering like, why do y'all do such stupid things? Like, do y'all have nobody around you? Like, I don't know if you saw recently. Like, I don't even know. You probably don't even know who Danny Lay is. But she's like this rapper's girlfriend, but she's also like a singer. And she made this song called Yellow Bones or something like that. But she's not black. She's like Hispanic or something. And I was just like, how could you not know culturally?
Yellow Bones? What is that?
Like a light-skinned girl. Like,
I didn't know that. What the fuck? Damn, I'm not woke. That was not
First of all, we need to kill all those terms.
I'm a bad black person.
No, we as a black community need to kill all those terms. Like, all that yellow bone, red bone, dark skin, all those terms. Like, if
Oh,
you're black,
yeah,
you're black.
yeah.
But bottom line is, she isn't black. So who around you would let you make a song about being a yellow bone when you're not even a black woman at all? So I always wonder with cancel culture, like, are we bad for canceling people?
I'm gonna have a hot take on that.
What you got?
All right, so I mean, I have a friend. It's funny. Me and my homie, we were talking about this. My roommate, he's from South Central. Like he grew up around like all black people, and he says the N-word, but he's not black. He's I think he's Honduran, right? And and look, listen, hear me out. I don't get mad. I don't know why. Well, look, it matters. People can say what they want.
People are gonna say what they want.
I'm gonna feel some type of way, and most people should probably. Most black people will beat their ass. But for me, I don't care what people say about me. I don't give a fuck. They can say whatever they want. I got this money. I'm trying to get this shit. I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really give a fuck. But
I think
so I didn't get mad. And what's up?
No. I said maybe it's the Southern in me that's just like, do not use.
Yeah. See, I didn't grow up. See, that's the thing. Like, I think like it's a little less charged because of how I grew up. Yeah. And I'm an immigrant. I'm from Africa, so I think
Ethiopia, stand up. Look at me.
You know what I'm saying? Ethiopia, where you at? And you know, so it's a little less of a big deal. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. You know, I think that, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're all African if we're black, and I think for all of it, and we were talking about this on the last one. It's like we all just need to focus on our shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on your shit. Don't be worrying about canceling this person and just focus on your own shit. Right. Like, we got too much fucking time on our hands. Yeah. Like, why you have time to worry about someone that doesn't affect you? That's my question, my counter question for them.
I guess that does have some truth to it. But my thing is this. I just turned off that ringer. I don't know why it keeps ringing my phone on my laptop. I apologize. But anyway,
I think it's on my laptop too.
I was just like, oh my God, please, okay? You're embarrassing me. But anyway, I think that sometimes people also don't want to be accountable for their stupidity and ignorance. Like, at the end of the day, like your roommate, and I'm not picking on him at all, but like, he probably doesn't understand how that's perceived for all black people. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. And it's not for my room. It's not my roommate. It's my roommate's friend. But he says it around people. Like, he says it around black people that are from the hood, if that makes sense. But also, there's some that don't appreciate that. Yeah. If that makes sense. But also, like, you got to think of the N-word and how it's been, like, if you're from the hood, like, listen, I'm not from the hood. I'm not speaking for the hood. It's kind of incorporated in the lingo, whether you're white, Mexican, like, it's incorporated in the lingo in the sense of, like, they're not saying it in a way that a person that didn't grow up in the hood or around black people would say it, which is like, oh, I don't get to say it. I want to say it. If this person could say it, I can say it. Yeah. And they're going to say it with not in the intention that the people that are from the hood are going to say it. Yeah. You know, that word means guy in the hood, in a lot of parts of the hood. Yeah. But there's some people in the hood, even with that understanding, that are black, that don't appreciate it. So it's complex, like everything else. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's very complex. But I just think about cultural things and different things that people get. I don't even think anybody really gets canceled to me, because like you see them.
If you don't have if you have talent, you can't get canceled.
Yeah, Kanye West, prime example. He will always be
like Chris D'Elia got canceled, and it wasn't even true because he never was funny. I'm gonna be completely like, guys. Like, let's be honest. We're
just trying to figure out a way to get rid of you.
the only stuff. Okay, let me explain something. The only business that fails because of an economic disaster is a business that was not going to survive in the first place. Right.
That's true. That's the hard reality that people don't want to face. But no, that's just, I don't know. I always try to give people patience, but with some things I'm just like, I feel like they don't want any type of accountability, but also, like you said, some things, like if you give are people of service, like celebrities or anybody really. If you're giving a good service, i.e. Chick-fil-A, because I mean they believe in hard Christian morals. Like they don't believe in homosexuality. Like they really, really are cut through. But people all around America go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, I think, and you're not really like, if you don't go, you're not like hurting them. You know what I mean? Like you can only protest so much, man. And protesting with food is a tough one.
Oh my gosh, it's just not like it was back in the '60s. It's a different generation. Yeah. No.
It is.
Yes.
And it's tough.
It is tough.
It's tough.
It is tough. But, Joel, I got to ask you, what's up for your 21 as far as your business goes? It's so weird calling it 21. I feel like, man, I remember when it was 2013.
No, for real. Like, I still feel like it's 2019. Like 2018. I feel like it was 2018. I feel like it's 2018. I feel like 2018 was just here.
Right. I'm like, I don't want to go in the 20s. Like, I feel like I'm getting older. I don't want to do that. Let's go back to the 17. Summer 16 was a great year for me.
Yes.
I just
great
want to
music out there.
Yes. I don't want to go to 21. But what's up for your 21 as far as it goes with your businesses and everything?
Yeah. So I think for me, doing more of what I'm doing right now, but a lot of things have to be in play. Like, are things going to really open up? If things open up, then I want to start my documentary. Ooh. I'm trying to do a documentary about the immigration from Ethiopia to Israel. A lot of Jewish Ethiopians migrated up to Israel in like the 80s. Yeah. And that's a story that, is not really being told, I think, in Israel, where my parents currently live. And I'm one of those people that, got the benefits of the immigration and, the blessings that came with it. And it's just an interesting story, and I want to highlight it, and that is one of the goals for 2021, as well as, keep growing the podcast, keep having fun with it. I've really, with the podcast, I've really just been taking it seriously. I did it sporadically, I'd say, the past 2 to 3 years. Yeah. But I'd say only really taking it seriously in the last maybe like 3-4 months.
It's been great.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been podcasting is a super fun thing. Yeah. And keeping that going, staying my main client. That's like the stake of my. I'm essentially I'm contracted through them. Yeah. But I essentially work for them in the sense of like I have a vested interest in their success. Right. I get some like a portion of the bonuses and stuff. Ooh. And so just help them grow, help them kill it. And I don't really want to add in any more clients as far as like doing like corporate like type of like videography and photography. Yeah. So, like, I don't really want to do any more of that stuff, just work on my stuff, work on that particular client that I have. Keep creating projects, keep doing, again, as I said, the podcast, keep doing the clothing line, streamline the process a little more so it's still fun. And, just stay busy. What about you?
For 2021, it's all about consistency for me, and I'm already starting off bad because I moved the first few weeks. I was like, I have all this planned for the podcast, end up not being able to get anything done. So you see when I emailed you, like, it's just been crazy, but that's okay because I said I'm not going to wait till February. I was determined. I was like, no, it's okay. You don't have to wait for a new month. Just start it now. So I think the push for me is definitely just stepping out and doing it now. I think that's my problem, trying to like be consistent on February 1st. I'll be consistent, or January 1st starts the consistency for me. Just do it now.
That's the rabbit hole, and that's the problem people get into too when they're like, oh, I'm gonna post every Monday. It's like, well, when you're not ready by Monday, then what do? You wait until next Monday, and then you're like, well, shit, like. If I'm taking a week, like 2 weeks off, like, I don't want people to, like, you just get in your head even more. It's like, just make and put that shit out and then just make it a habit. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, that's what my thing. Just do it. I'm taking Nike's slogan. They are no.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
Yep.
You know, it's funny, like in college, like,
Yeah.
you know, people procrastinate because
Ooh.
they're like waiting. They're waiting for like this like golden thing that's gonna happen, and like it's gonna put everything. It's like once you schedule something, once you involve other people, it's harder to flake.
Yes.
Because then not only are you wasting your time, you're gonna waste someone else's time.
Facts.
So that's when it's been easy for me to do this, because, you know, I haven't missed. I mean, I've rescheduled stuff here and there, but I mean, I try not to waste people's time, and I've been scheduling a good amount, so it's, you know, it's hard not to be relatively consistent. So that's some recommendations.
Look at me, I'm definitely gonna try to work with those. But okay, for all those who don't know, I feel like I'm gonna pub it anyway. Where can they find you on social media? Oh, did it drop out? Oh.
On social media, Yoel Aynalem, YOEL AYNALEM, and then podcast, Yoel's Hangouts.
Yes.
Hangouts, 2 words, super easy. Yoel's YOEL apostrophe S Hangouts podcast. Yeah, that's it. Super simple. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. This was a great episode. I feel like we should do like a pop culture episode. So I feel
I'm
like
with it. Let me know.
Yeah, no, that would be fun. Just running through good old topics in the. I think the rumor world. February is always a messy ass month. I feel like. I don't know. Sadly, it's Black History Month, but it's always like last year. This is just so sad. I'm interested to see how they're gonna do this though. I know the Kobe. Well, this was at the end of January. Yeah, the Kobe, all the honoring ceremonies that are going to be taking place and all of that. So that's not, of course, messy at all, but just everything that's going to come with that and everything. February is always just a very, very interesting month. So I can't wait to see it. Yes, but cheers. It's water.
L'chaim.
Where's yours? You know, I went looking for the both of us.
My phone.
There we go.
Right
Cheers to
20
to 21. And
you know what I'm saying?
More podcast episodes, more consistency, more prosperity, more life.
Subscribe to her.
Yes, and subscribe to him. All right, guys.
Write a review to her.
Do
it all. Write a review. Subscribe. Right. You know, I feel like you're gonna be the next one up. You know what I'm saying? Just keep grinding.
Ooh, I like that. That's what I need, that positivity. But I will talk to you all next week. All right, guys, that is this week's episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in this week. Be sure to tune in every week to check out all of our new episodes. We are available on all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, and I want to give a special shout out to J Visual for the graphics. So be sure to stay tuned for more exciting things to come. Have a good week. Be blessed and in abundance.